injuries, but I think it'll make
of
it.
all the games to be hyped about.
I think it'll make it more exciting. I don't know.
You think
And
so?
plus John Isaac coming back. I know that doesn't have to do with Celtics, but that's gonna be cool at the very least. Dude hasn't played in like
It'd be real
12
cool if it was
years.
against somebody else.
I guess. Hello,
Typical.
hello. How we
Oh,
doing?
welcome,
Yeah.
Tim.
Alrighty.
You've switched it. I think.
Yeah.
There we are.
Welcome in.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's in Orlando, getting cooked down there. He was not a fun time with the Magic the last time the Celtics played them.
No.
They cooked him a little bit. Celtics should be looking for revenge tonight though, because the last time they faced off against Orlando, it was it's not a pretty sight. It was not a pretty sight.
They should be fired up.
Yeah,
they should be. They should remember Rob Williams comes back, all the hype around the Celtics, and they come out and fall flat. And then they do it again in the second game. They get swept at home by this Orlando team that's competing for Wembanyama.
Not good at all. Not good at all. You need better from the Celtics. And I mean, since then, they've picked up the pace. They're on a 9-game win streak right now. If they win again tonight, it'll make it 10. Hello, Jack. And hello, Uncle
Lots
Dan.
Of fist bumping going
on.
Oh,
yeah.
In
Love
the chat.
Fist bumps. Love to see it. Celtics have, I think, refound their footing since that rough stretch at home against the Magic twice and the Pacers. 9 in a row. If they win 10 in a row, it'll be a season high win streak, correct? Because last time was just 9. So Celtics should be feeling good. It's not going to be easy, though, because missing some key players. Marcus Smart, out. Malcolm Brogdon, out. Personal reasons. Robert Williams, out. So Celtics will be starting a lineup of what I can assume to be, and I'll double-check myself here, but Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Grant Williams, Al Horford. That is – oh, no.
Is it Blake?
I am wrong. It is Blake. I am wrong. That is very weird. This is the starting lineup you are looking at tonight. While I type in the chat, excuse me. Matthew getting in on the fist bumps. Shout out. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Blake Griffin, Grant Williams not getting a start. A bit weird. Although I will say it makes a little sense because you get the feeling that they're probably going to roll with a starting lineup of either Robert Williams or Derek White filling in for that final role. So maybe they'll just be giving Grant Williams the Malcolm Brogdon treatment here, where you don't want to put him in the starting lineup and then throw him back in a bench role. They want to kind of give him some consistency coming off the pine. So I guess it makes sense.
May see back-to-back starts for Blake Griffin because Horford ain't playing tomorrow.
I think this.
Rob will be back.
I love this this new arc for Luis here.
Now he's
the
a
Luke
fan
arc. I love it. This
Luke
is phenomenal.
Cornett.
I love it. And I know it's probably sarcasm, but I love it anyways. But yeah, John is right. Next man up. What do you guys think of that? The Blake Griffin start. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You give Grant some consistency, but it's different.
It's been what they've been doing when they're missing one of their bigs traditionally. Maybe not when Horford's been the lineup. Usually he is the Horford replacement. So I guess we really haven't seen this one yet. But he's been really, for the most part, fine when he started. He did get cooked out west in those games against the Warriors and Clippers. But besides that, he's been really solid. Every time they ask Blake Griffin to do anything, he usually makes one or two hustle plays or takes a charge or does something that gets you a little bit hyped, which is definitely what you want from somebody that's doing a lot of watching, a lot of sitting on the bench, and kind of is along for the ride. So I have no problem with that. I hope to see him play well. I like Blake Griffin. He's a likable guy, so why not, right?
And I mean, the guys in the locker room really, really like him. I think that's a really big thing. I think overall that's the sort of thing that they were missing for a while, was having these kind of veterans come in. And it's also refreshing. Again, we've talked about it before, but just having players come to the team and be like, this is such a good organization. You have no idea like how bad it is out there. Like to hear guys sing the praises of the Celtics as like just an organization top to bottom. It's refreshing, especially because I think for a long time there were this really, really bad public image of how they handled players, everything after Isaiah Thomas. You know, you had Anthony Davis's dad slandering the team in the news, and
Sam's arch nemesis.
Yeah, but you know, hey, it worked out okay. It worked
Anthony
out
Davis's
right.
dad, big rat. Anthony Davis, rat. All of them rats.
Tough. Very tough.
Rough,
man.
But you know, I was distracted by something because I just saw someone retweet it. I don't know if you saw this. This is from LJ Ellis of SpursTalk.com. Apparently, the Celtics did have an offer in on Jakob Poeltl. It was an
Interesting.
offer of the 2028 unprotected first-round pick. So they have a swap there, by the way. We could touch upon that if you'd rather talk about the starting five lineup for the match.
No. I was just putting up that. What else would have been thrown in that deal though?
I mean,
Because
they said nothing about salary, so that's always the catch for me, right? It's just
Hmm.
you have to match the salary.
I was gonna say because like the context to that would be Pritchard would have to be in the deal, Gallinari would have to be in the deal, which by the way I think they can do because I saw I think Keith was talking about it in Celtics Block
Keith
Chat how
talked
like the
about it.
rules were changing, so like they could
Yeah.
technically deal Gallinari back to the Spurs. So like the added context of that, like not only would it be a first, but it would also be Gallinari, Pritchard, and then also like Luke Cornett or excuse me, Justin Jackson or like a minimum salary. So there's a lot more like substance to a deal like that, which I mean, if you want to make it fine, but at that point you'd have to worry about paying Jakob Poeltl, and there's rumors that he's going to command like 20 million per season on the open market, which I know Sam laughing, but like a team that needs a center could potentially offer him that. But the
Well-
Celtics are probably not one of those
No.
teams.
Well, maybe you do a sign and trade in the summer.
True. Also
I
true.
sure
but then,
would.
yeah.
The
know,
never-ending
if you're gonna throw
train
some
of
salary
TPEs.
to the Spurs, it would be real
love
cool
it.
if you got Richardson back instead.
Yeah, that's what I would like better.
I mean,
Makes more sense.
Well, let me ask you this then, Sam.
I don't know about that.
I do. I absolutely
They need
think it
another
makes more sense.
center. They need
I
another
disagree with you.
center.
We've been
They
over
do.
this disagreement.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think they
well,
need
because
another center.
you love Cornette. I get it. He's been
He's
serviceable.
I
will
don't
also
even
say-
love him. I just think he's fine. He's done what else do you want out of Cornette? What
I will
could he
also say
really be better at in that role?
My opinion on that is also based on the fact that I don't think that starting Rob is necessarily their best play, because I think they should
That's
keep
true.
Derek
You
White in
do
the
feel that
starting
way.
lineup, only because Derek White has played substantially better when he has been a part of the starting lineup. You can obviously close with a Rob Al lineup if that's what you need, but their offense has been so dominant this year because of the way they've spaced the floor, and bringing Robin off the bench has given them like a huge, very needed spark. And this isn't like a shot at Rob or anything. Obviously, he's been phenomenal this year in his spots, but I just think like in order to maximize this team, you bring Rob off the bench in that spark role. You can play him with Horford when you need that lineup, but at the same time, like if you're doing that, I don't think there's a real need for a third big. And if Sam Hauser's going to continue to struggle the way he has, right, you have Pritchard for that shooting, but I'd rather another bigger body at the wing. And so that's kind of where I think I would like Richardson a lot. And the question then becomes, however, would you trade Pritchard, Gallinari, Justin Jackson? And the report is they're only asking for like a second now. So like, and a second for Josh Richardson. Like, is that a deal you would do? And honestly, I don't think I would do that. I don't think I'd trade Pritchard for that for a 1-year rental. I'd rather keep Pritchard and then maybe trade him next year. But at that point, you're debating, oh, would you rather make the push in this year? Would you like there's a lot of questions, and I'm glad Brad Stevens is there.
There's cheaper wings. As much as I like Josh Richardson, I think there's cheaper wings. I think it's just a matter of the picks, right?
Well,
because we also need to talk about the Rui trade, because that was weird.
Good trade for the Lakers.
Unbelievable.
It's a weird trade for the Lakers, right? Like
What do you mean weird?
Three second rounders? No, I think it's a good trade for them. I'm just surprised that the cost was like that low. That felt low. Felt like a makeup or something, where it's like, hey, we know the Russ trade was really bad. Like, here's Rui. Like,
I agree.
Here you go.
Before that too, this is also true. Tatum did say something like that, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
True.
Just an opinion. But the
Rui
Rui thing,
Jack, then I'll bring it
Yeah.
home with complaining.
excuse me. The Rui thing is like, I don't think they would have gotten much more. Like you heard the talks that they're asking for seconds, because the Wizards. It seems clear that the Wizards and Rui Hachimura weren't going to come to agreement on like a contract extension. Like that wasn't going to happen. Maybe you could have like pushed for a first, but at this point, at this close to deadline, like those 3 Lakers seconds, I don't know if we know the years of the seconds yet, but no matter what, like unless the Lakers make some miraculous turnaround and Rui Hachimura turns into prime Kevin Love or something like that, which I don't see him doing. I don't know about you guys.
I sure
But
hope not.
those second round picks are probably going to be more like late first. Like we're talking, around 30 to 40 overall in the second round, and you get 3 of them. And I mean, Kendrick Nunn, I don't take any stock in Kendrick Nunn.
No.
I think that was just a match salary, but
that's
I don't
why I
mind the
thought.
3
Like, I was
first
like, you're getting
second-round
nothing
picks
of
there.
value. Like, just
I think the
throwing
second
that
round
in the
picks are
deal.
value though. Like 3 of them,
the best.
I
Well,
think
it's
the
more
3
trade
is
chips too.
big.
You could use those to trade up if you wanted to in the late first, if there's a guy
Yeah.
that you really want.
think
I mean,
so,
it's
yeah.
just more ammunition. It's just weird to me that, it seems like the Wizards are going to build around Kuzma, so that's another free agent that's not going to be around in the
Well,
summer.
That's the thing. Like
Wizards.
Kuzma is like so far rumored to be out of there. Like I
Yeah,
wrote
I
about
think
it
they're
today
making
on
a mistake.
Heavy. He doesn't want to sign an extension because he can't get that much money. And he
Oof.
also has said to The Athletic that he wants to maybe go somewhere else
Oof.
and
Well,
get
because he
paid
wants
there.
to win.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He wants to get paid and also win. So I get
yeah.
it.
That Wizards deal, man. These teams got to stop helping out the Lakers and just let them sit in their mess. Now, I'm not
Mhm.
saying this is going to be a season-changing type deal for them, but they really gave up nothing of value to them. Maybe those seconds will be valuable, like you said, Jack. But to them, they gave up nothing. I mean, Kendrick Nunn, see you later. For some
It's so easy.
promising, strong wing with
Mhm.
a lot of room to grow. If they actually play him in Washington, he was stuck behind Kuzma, like really wasn't playing much.
Mhm.
He's going to have some sort of a role with the Lakers. I'm just sick and tired of seeing teams help this Lakers team out. Stop trading with them. I mean, before those dumbasses went and they got Russ, the Kings were about to give him Buddy Hield.
Yeah, that would have been good for
I
them.
I
still
mean, my
hated.
goodness, stop helping these guys.
That was a crazy weird one that they backed up, right? I remember as soon as we saw that, I was like, why did they cancel that?
Yeah.
Like that would have been perfect. They probably would have
Mhm.
extended their window a little bit there too. Like it
Yeah,
would have made a lot more
For
sense.
sure.
So
for sure. Catching up in the chat here. A lot of stuff I missed. A lot of talk about Jay Rich. People would like him.
Yep,
Some
he
excitement
rules.
for John Isaac. That's my buddy. Shout out Ryan. Yep. Jay Rich chat. We got some love the
Landon
pod
loved the
legend.
pod.
Thank you, Landon. Jimmy J, more D White slander. Typical. Love you, Jimmy. But I think the Celtics made a good trade. I mean, you know my thoughts on Derek White. But the thing I do want to talk about is, let me find it. Some Pritchard talk. We got Jimmy J saying Pritchard could get 20 tonight. Uncle Dan saying Peyton is a beast. Pritchard played real well against the Raptors, and I know I just mentioned him on brand, Jimmy. I know I just mentioned him as like, he'd have to be thrown into some of these trades, but like I said this at the start of the season. I think like when Sam Hauser was hot, I was talking about how, okay, I think Hauser is kind of taking Pritchard's minutes rather than like, Brogdon taking Pritchard's minutes because they need a shooter. And you saw that against the Raptors. Sam Hauser, 0 minutes. Peyton Pritchard, a lot of minutes, right? And they still had Brogdon, so they could have very well gone to Hauser at the wing. With Tatum out, but they went to Pritchard and he came up big. And last year I talked about this in the pod. Tim, I don't know if you remember the Pistons game last year where Pritchard came in clutch of the fourth quarter. Like he came in and it was his first like real big chance in Udoka's rotation. He had like 10 fourth quarter points, something like that. We mentioned it in the
I
pod.
think I remember that one. I think I do.
I'm likening this Raptors game to that game where it's like, okay, Pritchard finally made an impact. It's going to be real tough to keep him out of the rotation now, regardless of who you have in front of him. And with Smart and Brogdon out tonight, like Jimmy J said, there's a very good chance he gets a lot of minutes. And like Luis is saying, maybe it's best for his career to go somewhere else. D White is starting, by the way, but I think it's going to be tough for Missoula to keep him out of the rotation moving forward, especially if Hauser continues to struggle.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No,
No, you go. Damn.
All right, fine. I agree. I'm excited to see Pritchard playing well. He's somebody that's really easy to root for. He always gives his all when he's out there. Again, came up huge in that Raptors game, 4 threes in the fourth quarter, including a big 3. Game is tied at 103 with a minute and a half left. Drills it, gives them the lead. They never look back. Their last points of the game, actually. That's huge. This guy's been sitting around watching all season. Marcus Smart told him he doesn't have a spot on the team, unfortunately, just because he doesn't. The rotation is so stacked. Where is he supposed to find minutes? With Hauser being out, that is the only possibility. And even then, it's tough because of his size. If they are able to give him minutes and it works, then that's fantastic because he's definitely a valuable asset. It's tough because it really feels like they're going to have to trade him because he has no fit here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fair to him because he's doing everything right.
Yeah.
He's doing everything he's asked. And every time he's told to come in, he plays pretty well for the most part. He deserves a chance. And if it's not here, it's somewhere else. But then again, if you're the Celtics, it really sucks to give up on a guy like that because he's proven to be a dog. You can rely on him. In the playoffs, he was great last year. I always go back to it with Pritchard. Game 2 against the Nets, he was massive. He had 10 points. They came back from 17 down. And he had some big shots in the fourth quarter when they were trying to cement the comeback, and ice the game. That's awesome. That guy rules. You can't just get rid of him to get rid of him. I appreciate that. But you really can't. You can't get rid of him to get rid of him. You can't just throw him in because, this season it would be nice to have like a nice wing off the bench. You can't just waste him on that. If you're going to get rid of him, make it worth it. And if it's going to be worth it, it's more likely to come next year when he's making a little bit more money so you can match bigger salary.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that sucks is I think right now, like this game tonight is a perfect example of why you need him.
Yes.
Because Marcus Smart's out. Like this is kind of like what we've always sort of been pushing is like, it makes sense. Like you should move him to give him a better opportunity. But then one of these injuries pops up and all of a sudden you need to lean on him again for significant minutes. And he came through in that Raptors game, did exactly what he does, which is come in and he hits shots. And all of a sudden, you see him get into rhythm, and that's what you need him to do. Now, if Hauser's not going to give you any productive minutes, maybe you start to see some of these guys slide down. Like they've already been talking about trying to play like Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon at like the 2 and 3. So like, do you have some potential lineups where you get, Pritchard out there and you try and play him off ball a little bit and just find him on these screens? Cause he hit exactly.
Yeah,
well, that's
like
what Hauser does. Yeah, exactly. But if Hauser's stroke's not going to be there, then you need someone off the bench who's going to give you a spark, especially in the fourth when, towards the beginning of the fourth, you probably pulled someone out towards the end of the third. You want to put someone in, put in some bench players. So your final minutes are your big guys, your core guys closing the game out. So you put Pritchard in there to give you a little bit of a boost towards the beginning of that quarter. So like that's something that they could continue to do with him. But it's just, how does it change when you have everyone healthy? Like, how does it really, because he's earned it. Like he definitely has earned a bigger role, but like, how do you fit it? And that that is exactly why he's mentioned in trade talks. That's why it kind of ties into that. Like, it just, what are you supposed to do? The one thing would say that someone mentioned in the chat talking about like the trade rumors and stuff, I don't think that the Jakob Poeltl stuff was fake. I just think that it's a diversion. Like I think they probably touched base on it, but maybe things have changed. I don't know. I mean, I still think that like it would be a good trade to do, but it's the salary part. I think the one thing that ties into it is that San Antonio 2028, because they're already owing them a swap. So all they would be doing is just, exactly. I went with Jacqueline. Yeah. I just think like that's the big reason why, is because that 2028 pick, they can just take all the protections off and just say, it's not a swap. It's a pick outright. Here you go. That's one of the reasons why there'd be benefits to do a deal with San Antonio. Yeah, that's funny that the Raps want him.
It's funny because not only because he was there, but like the situation the Raptors are in, they're going to be sellers. Like, what are they going to bring him in?
Well, they should be at least.
Well, unless they want to bring him in to be like the centerpiece for the future, in which case, who's
his
going
contract's
out from
up,
there?
Though, right? I mean, you got
to resign.
They can probably pay him, but still, if you're the Celtics, it doesn't make a lot of sense to give up a lot for him because we kind of touched on it earlier, and probably not going to bring him back. So, is it in your best interest to give up Pritchard in that deal? Maybe, probably not. I think Pritchard becomes more valuable next year again, just because of his salary and it increases. And you're going to have more games like the one against the Raptors. There are going to be more moments this season. Like you said, Tim, games like this one where you have Marcus Smart out, you have Brogdon out. These are times for him to show he can play. And it's 10 times more impressive because he's not playing consistently. If he's able to go out there and do what he did against the Raptors without playing, imagine how good he can be for some team that would be interested if he's playing every night and is able to get in a rhythm. That's crazy stuff. I think it was Bull Pet tweeted, Jack, because we talked about this on the pod. That's the mentality of a psychopath, to be able to come in and play at a normal level with all kinds of pressure on you because you're not getting normal minutes and you have this huge expectation to prove yourself and you want to prove yourself and the team needs you to prove yourself or they need you to step up. It's incredible that he's able to do that.
Jimmy J saying, who else can run point? Probably just Derek White, Brogdon, and Pritchard are probably to get most of those duties. Tatum also, Tatum can't handle the ball.
Point Tatum,
so that's there as well. We have Landon talking about Sam's cookie store beefs in the chat.
You want to talk about stuff from the pod? Jack
Cookie
should
store beefs.
a Target haul.
Yeah.
on
Brief
the
rundown of Sam's cookie store beef. They were waiting in the doorway. One of his friends opened the door and waited with the door open in the cold, which was a rat move. And so that was the sum up of the story.
That was
He-
unbelievable.
He like opened the door and like let all the cold air into the building and just waited in the doorway with the door open.
So think of it like this, Tim, right? It's like a main street with like a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of little shops you can go in.
Mhm.
It is like 11 p.m. near Brown University, so it's like a college area. Kids are out. There are these kids in the, I guess you could call it lobby of the cookie store.
Smartest
waiting.
day to day, by the way.
There is a
Just
line. Okay. My friend goes, we go up the stairs. The lobby is full, so we're waiting outside. He
Okay.
opens the door, and basically the situation is, if I'm going to be cold, then everybody else in the store is going to be cold. And he's just standing there holding the door open, letting the cold air into these people we don't know. And I'm like, you can't do that. What are you doing? So I eventually left and got my own thing. I said, I'm not standing with you. This is embarrassing. Embarrassing. But one more thing before we get back to it. Jack, we have talked about this on the pod before. You did a haul for Target. I have a haul of my own. My Pete Rogers Celtics jerseys.
Oh yeah, you got one of those.
We have the Tatum,
Mm-hmm.
the T jersey. Very nice.
I got them too. Mine haven't come in yet though.
I was correct to buy the medium. I was a little bit reluctant. And then I have the Boston Marathon Marcus Smart jersey.
Very
excellent, good quality, good for your money, and they fit fantastic. So everything I could have asked for, I'm amped that they came in. Fantastic. I wasn't the one being affected by the cold. It didn't bother me. It was secondhand embarrassment because my friend was being a rat.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I guess. I get that. It's bad for optics.
It is bad for optics.
Can't associate with you anymore.
I have new complaints today. Sam usually is the one ranting.
Christ. Okay.
So if you live in New England, which both of you guys do, and I'm sure most of the chat does as well, it was snowing today, right? It was like it wasn't too bad, but like it wasn't enough where it was like sticking to the roads, at least in my area, but it was like wet or something. If you are going to drive 10 miles an hour before the speed limit, stay home. I'm sorry.
Agree.
You can't be doing that. I understand it's snowing, like, and if it was like sticking to the ground like slush, you don't understand Rhode Island. If it was like sticking to the ground dangerous, like I understand going a little slow, but I was going 25 and a 35 today behind some idiot. I was so mad coming.
I agree.
I'm
mad. I'm mad listening.
Got home.
Furious.
I got stuck behind a snow plow, like a what's it called? Like a truck with like a plow in front of it. I was going 15 and a 45. Just irate.
But that's what happens
ridiculous.
though. That's what's gonna happen.
Unacceptable.
But we live in New England. People should know how to drive in the snow. This isn't Washington D.C. where they get snow once every 2 years.
You got
careful.
Going 10 miles under the speed limit in snow, you go with the rest of the traffic. No, seriously, you go with the rest of the traffic.
It was one car. It was just one car down and it wasn't even
was like a side street.
It was just like a normal road in my town. It wasn't like a highway. It wasn't like a tiny little street. It was a normal street. It was 35 and he was going 20 25. Absolutely
what kind
ridiculous.
Of car?
And my dad's saying you'll change your mar. It was like a sedan.
You'll
change your mind.
Your dad's right.
Simone.
I got into a freaking car accident and totaled a car in the snow. So I don't want to hear anything about driving too slow in the snow.
I was driving in the snow a couple years ago in my old car, which is also my dad's old car, which is sorry, Dad, it's a terrible car. It's falling apart. It's a 2009, so it's fine. But I started like skidding like back and forth in the middle of the road and I saved it in traffic. Guess what? I still don't go 10 miles an hour below the speed limit.
I got into a straight up crash though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. No,
I was on the highway and my car, like I went to
the highway is different.
Fire, Landon, fire. Yes, rear end him. Get him off the road.
No, if you want to go slow on the highway, that's fine. Like, right, that's acceptable because people can pass you. Right. If people want to be idiots on the highway, and if you want to call me an idiot for that, right? If there's multiple lanes, it's fine. On a single lane street, you're going 10 to 15 miles an hour below, stay home.
That's fair. I think that's fair. Unless like the roads are really, really, really bad. And they were not bad today. No, I think
not in my area. Okay. There was no snow on the ground. It
would have been bad for me. All the schools got closed tonight. Like all the schools in my area were closed. I was supposed to go into Boston today for a meeting, but like it was supposed to snow like right in the middle of the meeting, and then trying to get back would have been bad. to control your skids. They're like Tokyo Drift.
Jack's gonna run up.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
have-
all
hey,
fun and games
I pay
until
for my own
Mafrey comes
insurance.
knocking.
No,
man.
no. I pay for my own insurance. I can mess it up all I want. Let's call
You
it
say that
spade here.
now. I'm telling you.
No Time Lord tonight.
We've got people asking for picks, by the way. You
people
got
are
Andrews.
asking. They're
thirsting for
asking.
a
They're
pick.
saying, Sam, what's the pick? What's the pick, Sam? What's the pick? Well,
Come on.
as
Andrew's
soon
like,
as the
"Let's
Wi-Fi
go."
enables it, you'll get your pick. Pregame picks presented by Smash the Odds at Smash Odds on Twitter. Daily free picks. You can pay the premium price for the premium picks. I get through the tongue twister today. Let's get it. Derek White
Alliteration.
under 5.5 assists today is the big pick. My pick.
Well,
Al
slander
Horford over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. Feeling like he's going to do a lot today.
Mhm.
Al's been stepping up big. I think he can crack that. What do you think, gentlemen? Do you have your picks, Jack? Tim, feedback on the picks?
I think
Well-
Derek White is an interesting one because I think because you don't have Marcus Smart, he might be handling the ball more. But I feel like he's been the guy who's been getting assists, like in
Mhm.
terms of like people are passing to him, he's hitting his shots. So maybe I'm a lukewarm on that one. I think the Al Horford
Mhm.
one's a good one though.
All right.
not
Well, that makes
getting-
me feel nice.
Not getting phenomenal odds on the Derek White threes. Over 1.5 is minus 140. Over 1.5 for Grant is plus 105, but over 0.5 for Bull threes is plus 185. So I'll take that. I think Bull hits a three tonight. But my actual pick of the night is going to be points. Peyton Pritchard points over 10.5 points for Pritchard, minus 120. I'm taking that. I think he gets 10 plus off the bench, especially
All
with
right.
Marcus Smart out and Malcolm Brogdon out. So I think Pritchard cracks 10 points. That's going to be my official pick. I'll lock it in, Peyton Pritchard. But the outskirts are the Bull threes, and the D White and Grant threes are always a lock for me. So there is that. We got Phoenix saying Magic are sneaky talented. They've been playing well lately. They've got some talented
Beat the
guys, like you said.
Celtics.
Two potential All-NBA forwards there on the roster. You got Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, both very good. Excuse me. Didn't we lose? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I don't know which one did you
I
click?
get it. Streets are saying to give us a like.
Oh, legend. Yes, thank you, Justin. Leave a like. How about them Celtics on YouTube? What do y'all think of Suggs? Suggs is okay. I think he's got the potential. He just needs to stay healthy.
Isn't he related to somebody?
but-
What, like Terrell Suggs?
I assume
No, I
he
think
has
he's related to
relatives.
somebody in the league. I could be wrong.
Let me take a look here. While you're saying that, didn't we lose back to back last month? Don't sleep on these guys.
I was at one.
Yes, they did. I'm looking. I think he might be
Terrell
right.
Suggs is his second cousin, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. 5 minutes over under 5 minutes for Hauser tonight. What are we thinking, fellas?
I think
I think he's going to get run.
Cousin of Eddie Jones, NBA All-Star.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, there you
If
go.
that's what you're thinking of. But
So we were both right. That's weird.
that's all I got. Under on Hauser, says Uncle Tan, potentially.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel a little Smart out. You were missing people. Why is Ralph turned off? Because the light gets weird sometimes.
Oh, let's see. Is Ralph the
It's the space
Oh.
I like Ralph.
Yeah. It's one of my
Yeah,
lights.
I like
I got a
that.
couple.
Ralph
Thank you.
is cool. Over for Hauser, says Justin. So we got an under and an over. The Hauser minutes. I mean, I could see the over just because you're missing like so many guys. At the same time, though, I don't know. I don't know. Brogdon, the 6 man of the year agenda. Do you guys think Brogdon can win 6 man? I mean, I know the idea of like Russ is probably the favorite right now, and Sam hates it. I'm not talking like my favorite. I'm saying like by the odds. Russ is
Yeah.
not the favorite, but
I think that's dumb.
I think it's got to be right now Brogdon or Bobby P in Milwaukee. I think those are
Portis
probably
is a good
some of your
bet.
guys. Yeah,
I think
Portis
he
is
does
a
a
good
lot. Consistently putting up doubles off the bench. It's kind of hard to compete
Matherin
with
too. Mathurin
Yep.
needs to be up there. He's been having a good season for the Pacers. Let me take a look. Let's look at the bench scoring this year. Y'all trash.
Okay.
I like it. No,
All
I
right.
like it. I like the confidence there. Let's go Celtics. Goodbye, Uncle Dan. Thank you for
that.
watching.
Trash.
There you go. Also, shout out my papa and his wife Nancy like to watch the pregame too. They don't use the chat, but shout out legends. Leave some fist bumps in the chat. They're tuning in from Florida. I think it's between Norm Powell, Matherin, and Brogdon. They're definitely up there. Let me look at the starters bench stats. I'm sorry, I'm taking a while to pull it up. Ben Matherin averaging 17-7 off the bench, 4 rebounds, 1.4 assists. Westbrook is up there averaging 16, 8, and 4. 6 and 8. I mean, those, even though they're not amazing, like they're solid stats, and as much as Jack's, that's a phenomenal comment. But no, fist bumps in the chat. There you go. But yeah, we can wrap up there. I think those are probably the top for 6-man. Brogdon up there, Bobby P up there, averaging a double. And as much as you don't like Russ being up there, they're only like a game and a half out of like the 6th seed. So if they make some sort of push, which isn't likely, but if
I'm
they
not
do get
convinced
up there,
me and the boys aren't going to get in the 6th seed out west.
Yeah,
with how close that is.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But anything you guys want to say before we get out of here?
No, I think
that's
I'm
an
good.
all-time comment. That's an all-timer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put us out there. If you want to go to a Celtics game or any other event, use SeatGeek. Use promo code HBTC. How about them Celtics for $20 off your first purchase? Let us help you go see what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's there on the bottom of the screen. I didn't read it with the scroll today because it was off. All right, but it's there. HBTC. Use it.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Check us out on Twitter. That's below our faces. Jack Simone NBA, Samuel France NBA, Tim Shields NBA. You can see it on the screen. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at How About Them C's, and leave a like on our Facebook page as well as heavy on Celtics Facebook page. Yeah. Check out the How About Them Celtics podcast. New pod just dropped today. We talk about buyout market targets, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, and the big wins over the Warriors and the Raptors. That's on the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all podcast platforms. And you do get the full cookie story, which is fun as well. And you get to see my haul of soccer jerseys, which I got for Christmas. So check that out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We are here 30 minutes before every Celtics game, so we will see you guys tomorrow.